All right, y'all, what's going on? It's Combo Breaker 99. I'm back with another post-fight discussion video. All right, y'all, let's get it in. Let's talk about it. Amanda Nunes' last performance against Irene Aldana. Levels, man, levels. I know everybody wanted to change in this division. Well, they're getting the change because Amanda Nunes is retiring, right? But I know a lot of people thought Aldana was going to go in there and do something big. You know, I looked at my community post again, and I was like, yo, people actually have Aldana ahead. But then by the end, it was like 50-50. But still, man, I was like, wow, y'all think Aldana's really got this great chance? I know, in my opinion, I think she had a chance when it came down to one particular thing, but she just didn't have the tools to get it done, man. When it came down to it, she just didn't have it. I mean, Aldana's best chance, in my opinion, would have been coming if she started early and committed to her hands and she took that chance, right? She was going to have to take some Pena chances, but at the same time be committed to what she can do with her boxing. But now some things about her boxing are a little bit questionable, right? But letting this fight get into deep waters, like I said, there was no way she was going to win this fight. Aldana's best moments would be in the first round, possibly up to the third round. But as y'all know, as Amanda lands and she does damage, Aldana, she wasn't going to be as dangerous down the stretch, especially when Amanda starts taking her down. And, you know, she starts, you know, putting that weight on her, putting that strength on her. You know, when you have to keep playing that get up game, get down game, get taken down, get up, that game, it wears on you. And it played out just like I thought. You know, it played out just like I thought. Nunes just damaging Aldana with everything she was throwing, taking it to her, you know, taking her into the pool and drowning her. Aldana's boxing, it was the only thing that was going to save her. But her boxing IQ was not as high as Nunes's MMA striking IQ. All right. That's what it came down to. Even then, you could say Nunes' boxing IQ was higher. I mean, the way she was jabbing and throwing the right hands down the pipe. I mean, Nunes just showed all her levels in this fight. Going back and looking at the first round, Nunes, she controlled the range in the first round, out jabbing Aldana, landing front kicks to the body, just mixing it up on her, just to keep that full range and stay away from Irene's counter punches if she was going to counter or throw the long right hands. She kept throwing those front kicks to the body. Aldana had this high guard, like she was looking for that big counter, like she was just waiting. But while she was doing this, she was getting picked apart. Nunes just kept landing that good 1-2 right through the guard as well. You know, so the guard wasn't really strong because, you know, she was busting right through the guard. Nunes, she was just mixing the attack up, you know, just having Aldana just making her respect her, you know, just making her wait, making her hesitant. She wasn't really trying to get off anything. Aldana landed like one good right hand, and that's where I started to think, okay, maybe she's waiting for this type of punch, and she's going to set it up as the rounds go on, or as the round goes on, you know, because she moved her with that right hand that she landed on Nunes, but never came back to it. Nunes just kept landing the heavier shots in the first. Nunes' jab just going right up the middle, opening up nice body kicks even in the second round. Aldana, with her stand-up being her only hope, she couldn't get off anything at this point, you know, so that she didn't really have like a plan B to jump to. So at this point, you could really just say Nunes was outboxing her. You know, she was just outboxing and outstriking her. Aldana, she wasn't using her length, just keeping her hands up again, just walking forward like she was worried about the power, but at the same time, looking for that one big shot. But she wasn't setting any traps. She wasn't really setting any traps. So I'll say the only thing Aldana could really do in this fight that I thought was impressive, well, I wouldn't even really say it was impressive, but her scramble, you know, when she got taken down a few times. But other than that, her game plan was flat. You know, Nunes was just tearing that lead leg up and, you know, landing through the guard. By the third, Nunes was just beating Aldana up with those combinations, tripling the jab, beating that lead leg up with those stomp kicks, you know, like right on the knee. Aldana just doing a lot of following instead of cutting the cage off. And that's why I was saying, like, now I'm kind of questioning her boxing IQ, because as a boxer, you know, she should have been trying to cut the octagon off, you know, and jabbing, you know, throwing the jabs in, you know, throwing something. But she just had this high guard and just kept on, like, waddling forward, you know what I mean? Kept, like, doing this little feint forward or this little rhythmic forward movement. But it wasn't really throwing Nunes off. You know, Nunes just kept on going in there and, you know, busting through the guard and landing at range. You know, even in the third, Nunes just said, okay, at one point I'll take you down to the ground, you know, just to start turning it into more of a grappling match, which started to wear Aldana down even more. because she started looking fatigued when she got up from that takedown in the third round. That's where I saw like she looked like she had a weighted vest on, like a 50-pound weighted vest. She was getting fatigued. By the fourth, Aldana was reaching with her right hand, just kind of reaching like she was about to fall over. So I thought Nunes was about to stop her when it came to this point, especially when she let that combo go that ended with like an elbow. This is that pressure that I was talking about in one of my previous videos, where it made me kind of nervous about Aldana's boxing. That's where I kind of got a little radar in my head kind of went off, a little alarm went off in my head where I was like, Aldana's boxing, even in this Pudilova fight here, it looks a little bit like she kind of withers under pressure and she doesn't really fight too well off the back foot. You know what I mean? Like she was getting hit with some big shots like from Pudilova. Pudilova was like going head, body, head, just the same way Amanda Nunes was. And I was like, man, how much has changed? Not much has changed at this point. So, Nunes having the same success, I was like, oh, it's about to be over here. But now she took her into the fifth round. And Nunes, I think she could have stopped her in the fifth, but she chose to put on a clinic. She capped the last round off with, a big takedown, head, body, ground and pound. She was really beating Aldana to the ribs with those right hands to the body. I was impressed, all around with just how she was able to put such a clinic on Aldana at this point, and a lot of people should be impressed because y'all picking Aldana, y'all must have seen something that made her this big challenge. So Nunes should get the full credit, right? Because Aldana seemed like the heavy favorite according to, the community post, right? But yeah, man, complete sweep. Nunes got it. She shut it down all 5 rounds, the same way she did Pena, except in this fight, she took less punishment, if that, any punishment, right? So, yeah, from here, Amanda Nunes, she kind of surprised everybody when, she said, hey, cut these gloves off. She came in with both belts, and she put everything down in the cage, leaving it in the cage, and that's it. Amanda Nunes calls it quits. She's done. And in my opinion, like I said, it was a bit of a shocker, but I think she probably just wanted to kind of focus on this fight instead of, saying, hey, this is my last fight before the Irene performance. You know what I mean? Like that probably would have put her in a different mind state. So she probably just wanted to keep it in her mind and see what she looked like in this fight. And if it was going to be easy like it was, then why else fight, right? If it wasn't competitive and she could just go in there and do what she wanted like this, she was probably like, yo, I'm not hungry anymore. There's no reason to get up because Aldana, nobody else is giving me a tough fight now. I've done it all, right? So perfect time to retire. I know it pissed off Pena and, possibly possibly Valentina Shevchenko, but hey, she already got convincing wins over them all. Like I said, she's been there, done that. She's a double champion. She's beat every single bantamweight champion in the UFC now. So what else is there for Amanda Nunes? Nothing, right? If you're a fan of her or not, you can't lie. You can't lie on her and say she didn't do anything groundbreaking as far as for WMMA, right? So yeah, man, this will be the last fight we cover on this channel for Amanda Nunes as far as her last fights. Of course, we'll do round by rounds like if we're studying Pena or somebody or Valentina, but when it comes down to her last fights, this is it for the channel. No more Amanda Nunes fights. Amanda Nunes, she's definitely going down as one of the best fighters. I don't do the GOAT talk over here, like I said, but yeah, I think that it's going to be hard for the division to kind of pick itself back up after this because there just really isn't any well-rounded fighters right now that's going to grab that belt and keep it the way she does, keep it the way she has. It might take some time. That's why they've been signing a lot of new bantamweights. But as of right now, I don't think any of the girls at the top are going to win the belt and keep it as long as she has. I don't see anybody being a double champion either. And speaking of 145, which is another video, we might as well say that this division might be shut down, or they might do something crazy and stack up the featherweights. Who knows? I'm leaning more towards closing it down because at this point, if they haven't built up any type of rankings, they're probably just going to shut the featherweight division down now that she's retired. But you still got a lot of other big girls out there that want to take this chance at at a belt at 145. So you never know. If they make the stronger argument, like, we can only do so much on this channel. In other channels, we can only do so much as far as talking about making a featherweight division. It's up to the 9 or 10 bantamweights that are struggling to make 135 that want to move up to 145. It's up to them to say something, because even like when Macy Chase on a while back said that, oh, I can fight either weight, but deep down that wasn't true. She should have spoke out right then and said, hey, I want to move to 145. Y'all are killing me, because then finally she came out later and said, hey, I'm missing out on a lot of my technical training because I'm spending like hours upon hours and miles upon miles of running to make 135. Like, she was running like 30 or 40 miles a week to drain down to 135. Like, she finally came out and said that. That's why I'm saying, like, if they all just got together as a group and said, hey, we need 145, then maybe they would do it. Like I said, I'm saying the same things, but as a channel, how much do they listen, right? How much do they listen? So the ones that are actually performing, it's on them. So yeah, that's a whole other video though. But yeah, shout out to Amanda Nunes. She did it her way. That's the way you do it. So nobody can complain about her retiring. Don't say she's ducking Pena. Don't call her a coward. She beat Pena. She beat Cyborg. She beat Valentina, Miesha Tate, Holly Holm, Felicia Spencer, Megan Anderson. The list goes on and on, right? All the way back down to Invicta FC. She was beating girls, right? She was beating them all. Won some, lost some. That's it. So let's move on to the next. Who's going to fight for the vacant belt? We'll see. Will it be Rocky and Pena? I don't know, guys. Let me know in the comment section. Again, shout out to Amanda Nunes. Happy retirement. And as for Aldana, go back to the drawing board and get that work in. That's all I can say. That's all I can say for her. Make sure y'all subscribe. I'm out. Peace.